Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone. Here we will discuss together the cognitive learning theory with the following discussion. First of all, cognitive learning theory is a learning theory that emphasizes the learning process more than the learning outcomes. One of the figures of cognitivism learning theory is Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget designed a model that describes how humans understand their world by collecting and organizing information. According to him, certain ways of thinking that are quite simple for adults are not that simple for a child. For example, a child may have difficulty understanding that she is British but also Londoner, because she cannot classify one concept or London as part of another of England. There is another difference between the thinking of an adult and a child. For a moment, their concept of time may be different from your own. Piaget identified 4 factors including biological maturation, activity, social experience, and balance that interact to influence changes in thinking. According to Piaget, our cognitive development is influenced by social transmission, or learning from others. Without social transmission, we will need to rediscover all the knowledge our culture already has to offer. So, how do we respond to these influences? As a result of his early research in biology, Piaget concluded that all species inherited two basic tendencies, or invariant functions. The first of these trends is toward organizations organizing, recombining and reorganizing behavior and thinking into coherent systems. The second tendency is towards adaptation, or adjusting to the environment. This psychological structure is our system for understanding and interacting with the world. For example, very young babies can see objects or grasp them when they come into contact with their hands. But they cannot coordinate looking and grasping at the same time. As they develop, infants organize these two separate behavioral structures into a coordinated higher-order structure by looking, reaching, and grasping objects.
To the tendency to organize psychological structures, people also tend to adapt to the environment. Two processes in adaptation are called assimilation and accommodation. Assimilation involves trying to understand something new by adjusting what we already know. For example, the first time many children see a frog, they call it doggy. They try to match the new experience with existing schemas to identify the animal. Accommodation occurs when one must change an existing schema to respond to a new situation. We adjust our thinking to fit the new information instead of adjusting the information to fit our thinking. Balance, according to Piaget, organizing, assimilating, and accommodating can be viewed as a kind of complex balancing act. Piaget assumes that people are constantly test the adequacy of their thought processes to achieve that balance.
Egocentrism is also seen in children's language. Piaget called this a collective monologue. Studies have shown that young children are not completely egocentric in every situation. 2 years old describe more details about a situation to parents who are not there compared to description they give to parents who experience the situation with them. Therefore, young children seem to be quite capable of taking into account the needs and perspectives that differ from others, at least in certain situations. We get the learner's ability to solve conversation problems depends on an understanding of three basic aspects of reasoning. The first is identity, second is compensation, and the third is reversibility. With complete mastery of identity, the learner knows that if nothing is added or retrieved, the materials remains the same. With an understanding of compensation, learners know that real change in one direction can be compensated for by change in another direction. That's it. If the glass is narrower, the liquid will rise higher in the glass. When an understanding of reversibility is gained, the learner can mentally undo the changes that have been made. While the conclusion prerequisites figure regarding cognitive theory, namely, children develop gradually in certain domains with social, numerical, physical object reasoning, and motor development.